What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be talking about one of my favorite movies and arguably one of the best movies ever made, Black Swan, directed by Mr. Darren Aronofsky, given that this week he's opening up his new movie, Caught Stealing. If you've been living under a rock, Black Swan is a movie that was released in 2010 and it won Natalie Portman her Oscar for Best Actress. One of the best performances I've ever seen, and without a doubt her best performance in her career so far. The other reason why I wanted to talk about this movie is because it got re-released last week for its 15th anniversary, and I went back to the theaters to watch it on IMAX, and it was incredible. It was literally like experiencing the cinematic experience like I did it back in 2010 when I first watched it on theaters. Darren Aronofsky, it's also someone who in a lot of his movies, specifically Pi and The Wrestler, he introduces the concept of being obsessed with something, the concept of perfection, and the idea of chasing it to a point where it essentially destroys you. It's kind of like that old phrase that says something like, find what you love and let it kill you. I think Black Swan might be just the best example of exactly that. So the main thesis of Black Swan, it's the destruction of the person through the chase of perfection, or through the chase of that which you long for. In the case of Black Swan, it's Nina being able to interpret both parts and be perfect. In the case of The Wrestler, for example, it's the idea of him trying to get back to his glory days. He does this in a very interesting way, and it's what led me to record this video. It's because he does this visually, and he creates a visual allegory for interchange, and he exemplifies it, or he materializes it by making it external as well. In the case of this movie, we're not only seeing the psychological changes, we're also seeing it through the physical aspect of it. She's doing this through, like I said, psychological, physical, and through hallucinations as well. And I think that's the beauty of this film, and I think that's the genius behind Darren Aronofsky's work in Black Swan, and I think that's one of the magical aspects of movies and film, is that you can exteriorize interchange in multiple ways, and they don't have to necessarily make sense. Let's dive a little deeper and break down the movie for you guys. The main concept of the movie, it's death through transformation in chase of ultimate perfection, right? So we have Nina, who's like the subdued, under the radar, very like fragile looking girl, who's like very like mommy's little girl type of vibe. She's perfect for the White Swan, but when she gets cast to portray both, she needs to become this other person that it's completely unknown to her, right? And a lot of that comes from interchange. There's a lot of lines in the movie about this where she has to break free from who she's been so she can embrace this new version of herself, right? A really good example of her slow death throughout the film, it's the repressed sexuality. She's someone that doesn't necessarily have that super high libido, and then you have her mom, which has like a super tight stronghold on her life, and then we introduce Lily's character, which is Mila Kunis on this film, which is everything she's not. And that's when she starts exploring these other aspects of her life that slowly allow her to forget who she was and become this new person. And we see this when the choreographer essentially tells Nina to look at Lily as to what she should be doing when it comes to the Black Swan, right? She's not perfect, she's sloppy, but she is so confident about it that she sells it, right? Throughout the film, we see Nina trying to reflect back what she sees in Lily, and I think that's why when she goes to the hallucinations where she's either making out with her or ultimately killing her, we see Lily instead of seeing Nina, because Lily, it's everything that Nina lacks. She becomes the subject of her hallucinations. She projects her desire onto her, the jealousy, the fear. She eats the image of everything that Nina is not and everything she wants to become. During the final performance, we see that Nina physically becomes the Black Swan, and then we quickly cut to a wide shot where we see that she didn't physically become one, and this is essentially to communicate that she has reached her full transformation. It's the visual allegory to represent that her past self has died and that this new version of herself has been born. She took this so far that in order to become what she wanted to become, she felt like she had to kill her previous self, and in the process she literally and physically killed herself, right? Through her hallucinations where we see Lily, but it's actually her, right? So this is as much a physical, a metaphorical, and artistic apotheosis. That's why we see her saying it was perfect. She reaches her full potential, but because of her obsessive persona, obsessive behavior, to reach perfection, she kills herself in the process. And that's the genius behind why Black Swan presents metaphorical death in such an interesting way. Darren Aronofsky, W's in the chat for my guy. I'm really excited about Friday. He's dropping his new movie, Caught Stealing, and I'm really keen to see it. His previous one, The Whale, was absolutely incredible. So really excited about this one. Let's see what he has in store for us. If you haven't seen Black Swan, please do yourself a favor and watch it. You're gonna thank me. I promise you. It's one of my favorite movies ever, and it'll probably continue to be forever. So, yep. First time doing a movie chatter here on YouTube, so let me know what you think. I would love to get your opinions. If you have a different take on the movie, that would be really interesting to hear too. If there's a movie that you guys think I should watch or I should talk about, I'm super down to hear your thoughts. And yeah, sub up, like up. If you don't know about me, my name is Gara. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, my personal website, Twitter, pretty much everywhere. I'm gonna leave a link to that in the description, and catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, gang.